Well, hello and Happy New Year. I'm Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Deanna Blackman, and I can be found on Facebook, Stampin' Dee Dee's Doings. And I'm here today just to show you what I've been doing over the last couple of days. About 2 years ago, I made these calendar holders for each of our homebound members from our church. And when the homebound visitors went, they took the calendar holder to them, and it's something they can have sitting up all year long. So I provide the little replacement calendars every year. But this year, we've added some new homebound members. We're all getting older, right? So I needed to make a few more. And so I've been doing that the last few days. These two, when it lays flat, it looks like this. And when it is sitting up, then the calendar and the little post-it pad both show. So these are two that I have completed. This is a way that I use up my retired designer series paper. But for today's demo, I'm going to use something current. I'm going to use paper from our new celebration catalog, and in just 3 days you are going to be able to purchase items from the new mini catalog and earn free items from the new celebration catalog. And this paper set, called True Love Designer Series Papers, is one of the items that is available for a $50 purchase, and I love this paper. It's black and white, and it's the type of stamping that you can color in, or you can leave it black and white. So there's flowers on one side and pattern paper, a pattern on the other side. So here, flowers and a pattern, some more flowers and a pattern. Tiny flowers on this one, almost a floral background, and then pattern on the back. These flowers, aren't they gorgeous? I love these. And I think, no, this isn't the one I used today. Pattern on the back, floral, pattern on the back. This is the one that I used today for the flowers today. So keep that in mind when you order after January 5th, or beginning January 5th, you can earn free items like this True Love Designer Series paper. So for our calendar holder, I have pre-cut everything to make this fast. So the first thing you need for your base is a piece of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11, and I chose Petal Pink just because it goes with the colors that I chose to use on the flower. And I did color in the flower and then fussy cut it. And there's a really cool technique for fussy cutting. It was on one of the other videos, and I'm sure I'll be discussing that again soon. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then you want to fold, and you want to really crease that fold on the score line. You want to crease both of them. And then you're to cut another piece from the same color, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you'll cut 2 from your designer series paper at 4 by 5 1/4. Here's the 2. And then you need 2 more pieces from a coordinating piece of cardstock, or you could use the same, but because my theme is black and white, I went ahead and did these in black. The one that holds the post-it is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. The piece that holds the calendar is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. So I'm going to be putting these measurements and photos on my blog later on this afternoon, and you can go there at Scrappin' Dee Dee's spot at blogspot.blogspot.com. I don't usually say that, so I'm stumbling around with that. Scrappin' Deedee's Spot .blogspot.com. I'll put it out for you. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. The first thing we're going to do is glue our pattern paper to our piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cardstock. So let me get my adhesive going here. One piece down the middle, and here we go. I'm just gonna put it right in the center. There we go. Then the other piece of pattern paper is going to go right here on the inside. Okay, and it's going to go right here. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is attach this piece to the front, and it just fits perfectly right there, but you only want to glue it on this part. So what I do is put my adhesive here so I don't mess up and put too much adhesive on it. And you can use your Tombow or whatever you want to use. You just want it to stick. All right, and so I'm going to take this, and it's going to go just like this. You're just going to fit it pattern side up. I almost messed up, didn't I? I'm due one mess up per video. All right, it goes on just like that. Get that adhesive off. So when it sits up, it'll sit up just like that. All right, so next we're going to put on our Post-it note holder and our calendar holder. So the Post-it note holder is going to go right here. I'm just going to put it down. This is, once you get the pieces cut, this is so easy to put together. And I just put it down with just a tiny bit of the pattern paper showing at the bottom. Just the tiniest bit. All right, and then the the calendar holder is going to go right on the front. And it too will go real close to the bottom with just a tiny little edge. All right, so when we put our Post-it pad, and what I do is I take the pads and I separate them. All right, and so I'm going to use just a little bit of tearing tape and put it here on the back at the top. Peel that off, put it down, and there we have our Post-it pad. Now you can use as much Post-it note as you want on here. I usually use a small amount. Now here is our Tailored Expressions, and I take the front off, which leaves January 2021. And on the back of it, I'm going to also put a little piece of tearing tape. Tearing tape is strong, so I try to put something on the back that is going to hold it, because when they go to tearing off the calendar and taking up a piece of Post-it note, then you don't want it. You don't want the whole pad to come off. Well, that's what I just did. Yeah, there it comes Finally. Okay, so I'm going to put this down so that I can center this. All right, and now we're ready to just decorate the front a little bit, and I don't do much. So what did I do with my flower? So I used these markers. Look at it, it's on the floor. Anytime I lose a flower, there it is. I just couldn't see it. I used dark and light petal pink and dark or the light calypso coral, and then for my leaves I used light and dark mint macaron. So those are the colors I used for this one, and I'm just going to put dimensionals on the back. You know, it's such a satisfying feeling to know that something that you're doing is going to bless somebody else. And I send a lot of cards, and I have done these. I have also made little candy holders to give out to the residents of an assisted living center. All right, so I'm just going to put this right there. And I'm also going to put dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. And I do all sorts of things for the sentiments. For the homebound members, I try to put a Bible verse of some kind or something inspirational that will encourage them. And on this one, I used a sentiment from the, this is from the Dandy Garden set. May good things grow all year long. And I thought that was so appropriate for a calendar. So I'm going to put it right there. And voila, we have completed our calendar holder to bless somebody with. So I hope that you will consider doing something like that in the near future. And I know that there are people in your life that are just waiting to be blessed by you. Have a great day and Happy New Year. Bye.